If you're just joining us, this is Breakfast Daily, and now it's time for us to get into our tech segment. Remember, we're still in the Heritage Month, and we're talking everything Ghanaian. So we have, we'll be talking about some Ghanaian tech inventions, and to do that with us, we have a mobile app and game developer right here with us, Mr. Dynasto. Afedo.
Hi.
Your name is powerful.
Hi.
Dynasto.
Dynasto, yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
nice name.
Thank you.
You're welcome to the show.
Thank you very much.
Anyway, what does it feel like being a mobile app and game developer?
It's I wouldn't say it's new, but there are different aspects of it. So I do mobile app development, which is more of the traditional mobile apps, and then there's game development. How does it feel? It's to be part of a selected group of people. There is some level of excitement. Teaming up with fellow collaborators and then putting out content, different kind of content that people are used to. Yes, it feels good.
Right.
It feels good.
Right. So which one is actually harder, being a mobile app developer or being a game developer?
Being a game developer, in terms of coding, I wouldn't say they're both almost the same. It's just that for the game, there's a larger user base because people are a lot more interested in games. But for the traditional apps, you have to think of an idea or work with companies that want the applications turned into mobile apps. So game has more of a bigger user base than more of the traditional mobile apps, and games are easier to market than the when it comes to the mobile application. So easier. It depends on where you're looking at it from.
Right. Okay, so tell us about some of the games that you've actually developed.
Yes. So there's the racing game, which is the RWC racing game. That is a racing game using our taxis, Trotro, Aboboya, Bone Shaker, Abosokai, Macho, to race on some Ghanaian roads. And it's been designed
to race.
Yes, race. So you race against.
So you're basically like so you can race with a trotro.
Yes.
Oh,
yes.
great.
So you can race, and then people can rank, and then you can see your rankings. And then the roads have been designed to look exactly like some of our Ghanaian roads, just to give it that very Ghanaian and African feel, and also it has some Ghanaian music in there as well.
Right.
Yes, so that's the first one. That's the racing game. Then there's Bullet 31, which is an action game. Yes, it's an action game, and you'd see compound houses here and there, where the hero goes to town into the communities and is killing the bad guys and stuff like that. And also, I have a few concept ideas that I have done and pitched to companies. Talking about ways we can use games to promote their products, how to sell their products. Back in the days, companies used to engage in types of games where, like, they can hide symbols, in bottle, in the crown cups, and also on the labels. So there are ways that we can still use games right now to sort of, replicate what was done previously in helping with marketing. But in a much more digital way now, given that we have smartphones to be able to help us do these things. Yeah.
So how important was it for you to incorporate the Ghanaian environment to, creating these games? Because you talked about trotro, you talked about compound houses and all that. So how important was it for
Extremely, being able to represent yourself out there is very important, because for me to get into the gaming space, there have been, so many racing games out there. There's Need for Speed, there's Asphalt, and those games are very big, internationally. So obviously, for me to get into the market, knowing where I'm from, it's not really about trying to compete with those big games. It's trying to stand out. And in standing out, we as Ghanaians, what people know on our roads are more of the taxis and the trotros than some of these fancy cars that are used in the racing, games, like, those Nissan, those, like, turbocharged cars and things like that. So it's more of about representation and, having people going onto the App Store and seeing something they can relate with. So it's extremely important having to put ourselves out there that way for people to be able to. Yeah.
Now, so talking about the App Store, your games are already on the App Stores,
yes,
right?
Yes, they are.
On Apple
and iOS.
Well, iOS and Android.
Yes.
Yeah. And how is it doing?
So the first game did has done so far more than 100,000 downloads. That one went viral. I started working on it in 2018, and then during the lockdown, I have a day job as well. And during the
Wait,
lockdown,
sorry, you have a day job.
I have a day.
Meaning, this is just on the side.
Not on the side, it's something that you can do hand in hand. It's almost like saying that, you can have a job and have a family.
Yeah.
So they are both equally important type thing. So, so I do it on the side not on the side, but it's equally as important as my day job. So during the lockdown, whilst we were at home, I had time. So I finished it up, put it out there. And, people being at home, having to see this was quite exciting. So it went viral. And then it did well in some other countries because I put the boboya, the keke, which is popular in Nigeria, Indonesia, India. So it gave it some boost, and it did quite well, 100,000 plus downloads. The Bullet 31 haven't marketed it so much. And then for the concept ideas, sent to quite a number of companies to see how best we can talk and see what possible. And I'm open to talking to as many companies as possible that are interested, in putting their products.
Right.
On their
So we all have games from our app stores.
Yeah.
But what always comes to my head is, how do you people make money? App developers.
Yeah.
And are Ghanaian app developers also making money?
Yeah.
Like their counterparts outside?
Yeah. So the thing is that we try, and I think that making money for us is not very easy. What's is available to us to make money is ads. First, that's one alternative, and the ads you run ads. So you know how when you play games, the ads that pop up in your games, when you close it, you hit our pockets.
I'm sorry.
I'm
sorry.
When you close it, you hit our pockets. But even on YouTube, whenever like ads play, we skip the first 5 seconds quickly.
So you're part of it.
Yeah, but the thing is that in Africa they've noticed that a lot of us don't watch ads.
Okay.
So for the products that come out of Africa, the ads they pay you for every 1,000 ads. So for every 1,000 ads, there is a price to it. For those in the US who do like games, because a lot of them click the ads and watch the ads, they give them about $2 to like $4 for every 1,000 ads. But for us in Africa, we get between 40 to 80 cents for every 1,000 ads because of our culture and what they've studied in terms of how we, work with the ads and stuff. But then there are other alternatives and other ways that we can make money. So like, let's say in my racing game, there are billboards in my game. If you want to put products, you want to advertise your products in there, I can give you a space, you pay me something, and then we both benefit that way. And also with other things like I said, the concept ideas as well, once that is possible. But then we've been able to establish a gamers association in Ghana that are looking out for the best interest of games for gamers and developers, so that when it comes to things like generating money and income, they go outsource business and also help us come together to make those things possible, so that we can one day say that we live completely and solely of our mobile games.
Right. So now let's talk about the concept ideas. When you actually go out there to pitch out to companies, do they understand? Because sometimes like it gets very dicey when you're talking to people that are in the box. So how do you make them understand that, okay, this is another way for you to sell your product or sell your business through my game?
True. The thing is that for so many businesses, I think that it's easier to go with an idea and pitch it. Like, let's say if someone was an influencer and they have like, let's say, hundreds and thousands of followers, it's easier to say that, oh, if I put this product on my page, this number of people will see it. But the thing is that what these companies don't realize is that after a week or two, when the post goes down, or after a while when people have forgotten about it, people don't get that same engagement anymore. But in games, it's constant. The more you play, whenever they play it, the ads are always going to be there. But for other companies where people can go with figures and data to show what they can do, unfortunately in our case, we actually have to develop an actual application to go and show it to them. So it's not very easy. But, obviously with time, how like at first YouTubers in Ghana wasn't so popular, but now it's getting there. People are beginning to understand that the digital space, is growing. And there's a lot more value in it now than it was before. Game is content. and its content is interactive storytelling, and you can choose how you want people to interact with your product, and you can use it to do as many things as possible, reward people instantly, and the opportunities are endless. So
Right.
it's not very easy, but people are, getting to understand the
Right.
importance of it.
Okay. Okay. So before we wrap up, like, where do you see the future of Ghanaian tech industry?
I don't think that for us in the space, the opportunity is endless. It's so bright. I don't think people are ready for what developers have in mind, or the things that are possible and the things that are going to show up. But the opportunities are ridiculous. It's going to get to a point where people are just literally going to lift up their heads, and um, the world around them is going to change because of the kind of things that we are putting together and the things that we're working on. So the opportunity in the future is bright. Very, very soon, in no time, Ghana is going to see something they're going to be very proud of and know that, yes,
Right.
indeed.
Okay. So how can
things are
people
good.
reach out to you, especially with this whole concept
Oh,
development
right.
on business?
Yes. So I'm on social media as the Dynasto, and my email is thedynasto@gmail.com. And I have a phone number, which is my direct number, so I can't put that out there. But just email me on thedynasto@gmail.com, or reach out to me on any social media at thedynasto, on Instagram, and on Twitter as well. So thedynasto@gmail.com.
All right. Thank you so much. Thank you
Thank
so
you
much for
too.
joining us in
Thank
the
you
show.
too.
And I promise I'm going to download your game
Please do, please do.
to support you.
Yeah.
All right.